Smash Factor.
Ripping driver, going for it. Oh my goodness. How about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line. Man, that is beyond long.
Look at this. He's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess hello world, huh?
Welcome everybody to the Smash Factor, week 33 of the 2021-2022 PGA Tour season, the third major of the year, the U.S. Open. It is a very, very hot but beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Norman, Oklahoma. We are approaching 118 feel-like heat outside. It's going to be about 101, but the humidity right now is crazy. But we're inside, so no need to worry about that. Going to get this kind of initial thought pod out. This will be kind of a quick one because we don't have to recap anything yet. We are, looks like Rory's going to get away with this, but he's got a 2-3 shot lead here, approaching the back nine. JT's on fire, but Rory keeps answering. Finau's right there. Way different course from Thursday, Friday to the weekend. These guys are going super low on this course with very little wind and a little bit softer conditions. So definitely played different on the weekend than it did the first 2 days. Been a good tournament, fun tournament. I mean, anytime you get this kind of leaderboard going into Sunday, it's awesome. I have a few outside shots flirting around the $20 and stuff like that. My 3-max this week was horrible, just absolutely terrible this week for me. Got some showdown stuff. We'll see how that finishes out today. Still a long way to go. My Sooners are about 5 outs away from clinching a College World Series trip to Omaha. They are up on Virginia Tech. Looks like they'll win, but crazier things have happened. So pretty good Sunday overall. Wanted to get this out since I got the initial rankings knocked out. I'll do all the recap, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'll do a pod tomorrow or not, but I definitely will do the Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll get all that stuff caught up. Right now, if you want to join us, had a lot of people join this week. Really excited to see that. U.S. Open gets you 30% off any package. Risk-free 7-day trial. So if you join today or whenever you listen to this, your entire week is free. You will not get charged until the 7th day. If you cancel before that, no harm, no foul. You never see a charge. U.S. Open gets you 30% off as we get through these this next month. It's a really good, exciting part of golf. We get 2 majors. Then we start heading into NFL and stuff like that. College football, looking forward to all that. It's going to be a great fall. Rate and review us on iTunes. I will be doing giveaways on Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, I'll probably just do it Wednesday. Giveaways on Wednesday. So all your comments, all your rate and reviews, those will all go into the deal. I'll be giving away DFS money, PGA Championship swag, Masters swag, just like we do each and every major. So rate and review us on iTunes right now. That'll get you into the drawing. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And in the comment section, tell me who your favorite play in the 9K range is. That'll also get you in to the drawings on Wednesday. If you are a member, you know we do drawings for the members as well in the GC Warrior Room Slack channel. Listener League is up. It came out. We got it out early this week, so it's already out. 600 this week, 1,000 to first place, 3-max as usual. It is in the link is in the description. Go ahead, get your 3-max reserved in there right now. Biggest one of the year for us so far, so let's fill it up big, and hopefully we can get that or bigger for the British Open in July. We're at the Country Club in Brookline, which is right outside of Boston. 4th U.S. Open to be held here. It's Gil Hanse did a couple of restores, 2013, 2019. Our boy Kenny Kim, I think they're going later on tonight. He'll have his full breakdown on the course, plus his article up on the website. Par 70, 7,264 yards, 12 par 4s, 4 par 3s, 2 par 5s. One of the par 5s is almost impossible to get 2 and 2. The other one, maybe. So, obviously, it's going to be tough scoring in general. Anything we see, it's kind of like what we've been when you go to Southern. I mean, these last 3 or 4 weeks, being in the fairway, being in the right spot, you're going to have some thick rough like they're dealing with this week. And we've seen the videos and stuff come out, but, we'll want to watch more of that as we get closer to Tuesday and Wednesday to see, how penal it is. We saw it was Ted Scott, I think, is the one that put a video out today about, you can hit the middle of the fairway in some spots and it can roll so hard you're in the water versus 5 yards left and you're safe. So really knowing where to attack and being in the right spot off the tee is going to be key. I think, accuracy, length, and all that matters. But I think more than anything, setting up your second shot is going to be important, and staying out of that rough just looks like is going to be one of the biggest keys this week. Very small, that northeastern POA bent type greens. I'll use bent for comps for the most part because of how they roll. Extremely small greens, tons of trouble around the greens with bunkers galore. I think it's going to be a tough test, and we've seen that already, the last 3 or 4 weeks. So I think we can lean a lot on that when we look at recent form and how guys have been playing. Weather will be something we have to keep an eye on. It's really early on Sunday. I don't look a lot on that. There's a small chance of rain, about 40-50% on Friday. That's the only day right now that has rain in it for the tournament. Winds are fairly decent, strong at times. Winds are changing throughout the tournament. From Thursday to Sunday, we'll go from south to north winds. We'll have cooler temperatures on the week, much like Southern Hills was. We're extremely hot early in the week. And then as the weekend went along, we've got some north winds, cooler temperatures. So that's something we'll keep an eye on. Way too early to even look at wave draws or anything like that. Right now, I just think it's going to be a tough test in general. I'll have the cut probably somewhere between +3 to +5. Remember, it's top 60 in ties, 156-man field. So mathematically, this is the toughest cut to make. If only 60 guys made it, you'd have 38.5% of the field that makes it, which would tell us probably a low 6 of 6. But you never know. You could have just a bunch of chalk make it. And theoretically, you're probably going to have, even if just mathematically, you're probably going to have a lower 6 of 6 than others. But you never know for sure. You could have 76 guys wind up being T60, right? We just don't know that, but could be something to build upon. I mean, game theory I think is going to be huge this week. Probably as important as, the guys we're actually looking at is how to structure yourself, put yourself in the best contest, give yourself the best leverage. I think that'll be a big focus of the week. I think it's a single-digit winner. I just don't. Everything we've seen, we've heard. You listen to the guys that talk about the course. I'll probably say -6 to -8 type deal. Once again, kind of like Southern, it's going to make that finishing position matter a lot. Just like Southern, my 5 of 6 that finished 7th in the Millie, I had a lot of guys inside that top 10, top 15, even though I didn't get the 6 of 6. And because if you can get a solid, not the 5 of 6 guaranteed to win anything this week, but mindset of I don't just need cut makers per se. I need cut makers plus upside. You need that every week, but this week you need guys that legitimately you probably think can be inside that top 20 and certainly have a chance to win it coming down the stretch on Sunday. My rankings I put out the last 6 U.S. Opens and their winners on there, and the standings for all the players, how they finished, which was Oakmont, Erin Hills, Shinnecock, Pebble, Wingfoot, and Torrey. Past winners in the last decade, we've had Rory, Webb, Rose, Keimer, Spieth, DJ, Brooks, Woodland at Pebble, Bryson 2 years ago, then last year, John Rahm, of course, at Torrey Pines. For the most part, the one thing you just kind of take out of that is cream rises to the top here at the U.S. Open. Barring a couple of those, all those are pretty damn good golfers, and a lot have been number 1 in the world. So, not that you can't look deep in the odds, especially betting wise, but I do think, zoning in on who you think can actually win this and who your pick is going to be somewhat key on the DraftKings side. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then also, betting wise, you don't want to just spread yourself so far out when more likely than not, you're probably going to come from 50, 60 to 1 or better that actually wins this. So ways we can take advantage of that. Stats I'm going to be looking at is great drives, stroke gain, irons, good approach, bogey avoidance, stroke gain, ball striking, and par 4 DK scoring. Overall games is going to be tested this week. I think that's going to be the most important thing we can take from it. All facets are going to be tested. You're going to have to be on this week. Avoid the big numbers, stay alive. When you're talking about, plus number could be in the top 20 for sure, maybe even flirt with top 10, but, +1, +2, maybe top 20 this week. You definitely, the grinders come into, to your thought process there. Salary ranges, pretty typical for the majors, 6 in the 10K, 8 in the 9K, 10 in the 8K, 39 in the 7K, and 52 in the 6K. You'll also have a whole bunch of guys. They'll probably want to be in about 70 because I've only pulled the initial. So probably another 30 guys in the 6K. These guys have made the queue and come in, and college guys, stuff like that. So that, right off the bat, it kind of seems like it leans itself to a balanced build, but I think we could do some hybrid balance, some stuff around there. If you can, depends on your risk reward. I really think that's going to matter a lot this week. Sweet 16, as usual, I'll give you my first 3 guys as initial thoughts. We'll have at least 2 more pods, maybe 3 more before Wednesday to deep dive into all this stuff. We'll get the stats in from this tournament, the RBC Canadian Open, update the rankings tomorrow, all that kind of stuff. But this will give you a little Monday morning drive or Sunday evening if you don't have much going on tonight either. Should have this posted late Sunday afternoon. I'll give you my 3 favorite in a bubble boy in each section. We'll go fade of the week, sleeper of the week, 4 gut fill plays, top 5 that pop in 2 long shots in the betting area provided by Prize Picks. Then we'll kind of wrap it up and get out of here. Keep this one short and sweet. 9K and above. A lot is going to, and this probably comes off a little bit like, but what happens here on this back 9, probably shouldn't as much as it will, but before he goes off and wins it, he's already 800 cheaper than Scheffler. Probably boosts him quite a bit. Finau's hanging around. He had the great round yesterday. I think some probably thought he'd fade back today. He's right there still. JT's storming. Now Finau's a different price range, but JT, Rory probably get boosted up some. And does that leave guys like Rahm and Scheffler? Scheffler came back, had a terrible Saturday, bounced back today, played him in Showdown a lot. He was like 7% owned, shot 4 under, but these guys are tearing the course up. So I don't even think that's going to be enough for Showdown. Then I think guys that struggle in areas that are important to me, probably everybody's going to look at that. It's kind of, Cam Smith. If he struggles off the tee, this place could eat him up. We've seen that a little bit this week, RBC. And then around the green stuff, Morikawa and Hovland are going to be talked about quite a bit, and their weaknesses there. So you'll see people drifting to the same type of scenarios there. So we got to look at where we're going to be different. I right now wouldn't be opposed to playing one guy in the 10K range, maybe 2, and fading the rest and trying to get a little different there, coming down, maybe be heavy on those guys so I can still have different builds. But, what may be the uncommon thing to do is play a lot of these guys up here and kind of get really light and zone in on a 9K guy. If everybody's going to drop to the 8, 9K range, 8K ranges, both those ranges look really nice this week. 8K range I love. So that'll be interesting to see how the industry's thinking and how we can capitalize on that, come late Tuesday and Wednesday. I like Xander this week. I think everybody will. And he'll be popular. Obviously, 5 straight top 7s. You'll hear that all the time. Coming in, he's got good form. A 5th, a 13th, and an 18th. 9,600. If you're going that route, there's going to be some key spots. You really just have to decide where do you want to move off of. You're talking Xander. You're talking Fitzpatrick. You're talking Sungjae. Maybe even Riley a little bit. But I don't know how much. People talked about Willie Z and Cam Young, the last major, and they really weren't as high on as what everybody thought they'd be, and so I'm not going to get jumbled into that, but I'm not a big Fitzpatrick guy anyways. Played okay this week, started out on fire, then kind of fizzled. He won the US Am here. That'll be hyped up. If he winds up zooming up the board, fine. Lowry, another one that'll probably be in that mix, fine. Maybe I take 2 of those guys and just cross them out. And maybe it's Rory. Maybe Rory wins this thing, and I go, all right, now he's going to be up there. I may go to Rahm, or I may just go Scheffler, and that's it. And then I drop to the 9s. There's ways we can talk about that and think about this as the week goes along. If I'm going to play Xander, you don't want your pool starting Xander, Lowry, Fitzpatrick. Now you're getting so many combinations that everybody else has. That's not ideal, but I do like Xander. Not going to move off him quite yet. We'll see how much that gets steamed up as the week goes along. Willie Z, I'll go right back there. I don't think he'll be as high owned as what we've seen him be in the past. I can't remember what he was at PGA, but he wasn't as high as what everybody thought he would be. He's got mixed results at the U.S. Open. 2 missed cuts. Obviously, the Shinnecock, I think he was, he wasn't even, pro for sure. 6th at Winged Foot, though. Not that this will play like Winged Foot, but that's a pretty good showing. Missed a cut last year. Roller coaster coming in. We talked about that going into Memorial, and that's why we played him a lot, but missed cut 2nd, missed cut 5th. He's just a ball striker, and when you need a guy where it's so important off the tee and then to set up your approach shots, he's as good as it gets. He's number 1 in ball striking for me in the field. 9,300. I definitely don't mind that. You can start lineups with him. So Willie Z's right there. And then right now it's Scheffler. So I have Scheffler as my in, and I have Rory as my bubble boy. And I'll probably see how that kind of plays out. my gut is Scheffler winds up being lower owned because if people decide to get off of Rory because he just won, yada, yada, most likely I think they go up to Rahm for $300 more, or even JT, who's also showing well this week, $400 more. I don't know that they climb all the way to Scheffler, nor do they think they need to. And so right now I'll lean Scheffler 11-3 as my last play there in that range. And then my bubble boy will be Rory. I liked him, but I think a lot of people will. He's always popular. And in me wanting to play some popular guys down the board, he may be a spot where I try to get a little bit different. Not sure. I may play him and Scheffler, and that's it, and fade the rest, and just hope the other guys don't kill me. You know, you start fading JT, Rahm, these guys that are all been popular, that'll get you different, you know, in a hurry as well. But if no one wants to play Rahm, so I mean, that's where we have to kind of see where things are going Tuesday, Wednesday. But right now, initial thoughts, that's kind of where I'm at. 8K range, love this range. Very similar to a couple weeks ago. I could play a lot of these guys and you know, fade the entire 10K range and still feel all right. Maybe drop a couple of the 9Ks with them. Go like Xander, Willie Z, and almost all the 8K range as a core. You know, I don't hate that. But I'm gonna go back to Cam Young, not stopping that. You know, 60th at Memorial wasn't great, but that's gonna be camouflage some because of the what he shoot 84 something on Sunday. Remember, he was top 5 going into that day, 3rd at the PGA. He's missed the only 2 U.S. Open cuts he was at. Not putting a lot of stock on that. The price is great. I like it. 8,800 to go back there. Neiman, 8,900. Go right back to him. Coming in with great form. 25th, 23rd, and 3rd. His last 3 trips out. Made his last 2 U.S. Opens. He only missed one back at Erin Hills, 5 years ago. So I'm not worried about that. 23rd and 31st. Another elite ball striker. Likes the bent, tight putting. Good price. I'll go to Neiman. Burns, he's another guy that's kind of, he's not way up there, but he's top 10 right now. Could make a charge. We've seen him do it the last several weeks. 8,300. I take Burns over Fitzpatrick all day long. I mean, the guy's won 3 times this year, and if Fitzy's going to be super popular at 85, I think Burns is more disrespected price than Fitzpatrick personally. So if the narrative is going to be Fitz at 85, I'll take Burns all day long for $200 cheaper. Again, 1 at Charles Schwab. Going to probably finish at least top 10, maybe flirt with the top 5. Hadn't had the best U.S. Open, but he played Shinnecock 4 years ago, made a 41st, and then missed last year, so not a lot of history there. And then Finau. Liked Finau, been playing him, played him a lot this week. Man, I had a lot of good hits this week, and I had a lot of bad calls. It was like a Jekyll and Hyde type week for me as far as my DFS pool when I started doing some reviewing already. Finau's coming in with some good form after his slump. We talked about that going into this week, the RBC Canadian Open. That's why we were on him. Now I worry let's assume he gets top 5 unless he just blows up here on the back 9. He can still win it, which would be great because we have an outright on him. But 8,200, Finau could really storm some of that, which you might see Fitzpatrick not be as chalky. Now you get Burns up here, you got Finau. But again, kind of how I kicked off this range, I could almost fade the 10K range, take my top 2 or 3 9K, and almost play all of this 8K range. It's that good of a range with equity in most of it. There's a couple I may toss out, but for the most part, I really like it. And Finau's right there. I think his game will, he's got 4th at Charles Schwab, 30th at the PGA. He's going to have another top 5 here. He's setting up well. So it's hard to deny. But Bubble Boy there just because of how much steam does he get based off this week. 7K range. I'm going to go back to Mito, especially this type of event. He's a grinder. Last 4 tournaments, 17th, 3rd, 7th, 13th. Got the week off this week. Get to recharge the batteries. He's ready to go. I'll go back to him at that price tag. Patrick Rogers, a guy I played pretty decent this week. You guys know my history with him. He's storming on right here on Sunday. Looks like he might probably get inside top 20. I don't know if he'll get top 10, but 7K. Been playing really well outside the Memorial where he missed the cut. But 4 or 5 weeks before that, he's been doing really well. Has made his 3. He's played U.S. Open 3 times last 6 years. Made the cut all 3 times. I kind of like him for the grinder. Can putt. Loves bent putting. That's a guy I think I have my eye on. And then Riley. I'll go back to Riley again. He's been battle tested now. 7,300. No reason to jump off of that. Sungjae is my kind of bubble boy. And I like Sungjae just like most everybody will. Coming in off a 15th and a 10th. Made his last 2 U.S. Open cuts. Cheap. my deal with him would be like, do I go to Xander? Where do I want to pick the chalk from this week? And where do I want to fade it and not risk it? That'll kind of be how that build. That's why he's the bubble boy for me. I do like him. But again, if you like Lowry, Fitzpatrick, Xander, you can't start getting 4, 5, 6 of the top 12 owned in your pool and expect to gain any leverage on the field. 6K range. I'll go back to Kurt Kitayama. I've been playing him, pretty decently. 6K range isn't as strong as what we have seen in the past before. There's a lot of them down there, and a lot of people, you could probably mark off 40 easy, just gone. So I like him. I like his game in general. He's still rating out pretty well for me. 40th at the Charles Schwab, 6,700. There's no one in the 6K that I think I'm just going to be super overweight with, which everybody will kind of probably leads to some balance build type stuff, or you're peppering that 7K range a lot, which I don't mind that either. Neesmith is a guy that I don't mind either. $6,900 coming in, 3 straight made cuts, a 51st, a 57th, a 37th. 6,900 is not bad. I don't mind it. Hasn't played in the U.S. Open. My only fear there would be, does he have that upside I'm talking about? Yeah, he may make the cut, but can he flirt with the top 20? Excuse me. And give us some of that upside, and maybe just being in that six guy in can be enough. But at 6,900, I mean, there's so much in that 770-100 range that I like that. I could go up there if I don't think so. We'll have to deep dive into that and see how that goes. Nick Taylor, pretty decent showing. I didn't see where he was on the leaderboard today. I know he had a good round yesterday. I don't mind him this week. What is his? Let's see if we can see real quick. $6,800. It's similar to Neesmith, but a lot of these 6K guy range, you're going to see that. He did play the U.S. Open at Pebble, got a 43rd, a 48th at Charles Schwab. I don't think I have. Yeah, I do have it up. We'll see where he. So he was 5 under going into the day. So he could flirt up there a little bit. But he's a guy that kind of caught my eye early. 6K range is really going to take some dive in between now and Tuesday when I come back, kind of shake some things out. Stuart Sink's a guy. He's a bubble boy. I don't think he'll get popular, but, 23rd at the PGA, made his last 2 U.S. Opens. He's only played at Erin Hills and Torrey Pines. He's like just, seeing at PGA, tough courses, doesn't have to get too crazy on scoring. He's a guy I can see flirting with the top 20, top 25, $6,700, grinder. Can hit the ball out there. He's 29th in good drives, 10th in approach, 37th in bogey avoidance. That's a guy I do like quite a bit this week if I'm wanting to dip down in this range. My fade of the week is right now it's Fitzpatrick. And we'll see how this all shakes out. Sunday, rarely do a Sunday show, but was kind of amped up to do it. Was excited to do it. I think he's still going to be popular. There are a lot of good moves around him. That's why I wonder how that'll all shake out by the time we get to Wednesday. But I do think he'll be one of the guys talked about the most. And that's a guy that I probably would be pass on right now. Sleeper of the week for me looks like he's going to have a good finish. He's got a few holes left, I believe. Danny Lee. Played him some this week, played him in some showdown, 23rd at Charles Schwab. He's a boomer bust guy, but $6,700. Probably, I don't see him being much over 5%. Showing some life, showing some form this week at a place where he can't be in the rough, all that kind of stuff. I don't mind it. I like some Danny Lee this week, $6,700. My 4 gut feel plays of the week. Right now, I like Patrick Reed. And this will probably go, this is going to be a little bit of a theme here. I'll be interested to see the industry buzz narrative on the whole live golfers. Money's money to me. I'm here to play DFS and make money. When I say money's money to me is I'm not getting into the whole live talk. I don't really care about it. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you like it, you like it. You don't like it, you don't like it. My point is saying is I'm not going to make decisions on guys being in my player pool because they chose to go play LIV. I think there are people out there that will do that. Like they think I'm not going to play this guy because he's playing live. That's fine. I'll take the lower ownership on guys I think that can play well here. Does it mean I'm going to go pay for DJ? I don't know. Maybe. He's going to be low owned, but a lot of these guys are. I think Reed will be, Gooch, DJ. For me, it's leverage and game theory. And if I can put them in a DraftKings lineup and I want to, I will. I don't really care if they're playing live or not. I'm not getting into that political world talk or anything. I just don't. I'm here to make money playing DraftKings and to help you guys make money. And Reed's one of them. I think a lot of people liked him, prior to. He's now officially going over there. But last 5 U.S. Opens, 13th, 4th, 32nd, 13th, 19th. Coming in pretty good form, 34th, 7th, 53rd. Obviously, he withdrew this week. They made the announcement he's going to the Live. This course, the way we think it'll play out, he's a grinder. We know that. I just listed his last 5 U.S. Opens. 7,200. If people are going to not be on him, I'll go there. Varner, 7,300. Another guy, when I like him when he doesn't have to get to 15, 18 under. We think 6, 7, 8 under. He was right there at the PGA, showed some flashes, 48 there, 27th at Charles Schwab. We've seen him at the last tee with Brooks at, what was that? It wasn't the US Open, it was PGA Championship, Bethpage. So 7,300, I like Varner. 7,400, I like Munoz. Been playing him a lot. No reason for me to jump off now. 3rd at AT&T, 55th, 48th. His game's coming around and getting better and better and consistent at that price tag. He's a guy that can definitely, he's got that upside for me on the weekend. And then Gooch, he's over there. Obviously, he took the money, went to the Live. That's fine. But he's been playing, he breaks out pretty decently for me. If I'm going to get, I don't have to worry. Normally, a $7,500 Gooch here, I think, would be somewhat talked about and popular. He may not be. If he's popular, I don't know that I go to him, but I don't mind him. He's 20th at the PGA, 27th at Charles Schwab. Again, I'm thinking these are going to play similar. Didn't play Memorial. I'll go to Gooch at $7,500. Betting top 5 of the pop and 2 long shots. And when I come back on either Monday's pod or Tuesday, definitely will be more in depth on the deep dive, and we'll go a little bit more into all that, just like I do most weeks. We'll just have a little bit more coverage this week, obviously, for the U.S. Open. Top 5 of the pop for me betting wise, I like Young. I'm going to wait till odds kind of adjust tonight and in the morning before I start locking anything, but Young in that 50 range, Mito 60, Willie Z 25, Xander 25, Neiman 33. Those 5 are guys that I got my eye on. 2 long shots, HV3 at 100, and then Patrick Rogers, like I mentioned, 150. Those may be more like top 20 bets, but those are 2 guys that I kind of like. I mentioned earlier at the top of the pod, more likely than not, I see it being a 60-1 or better kind of guy winning it. But those are guys that maybe we do some top 20 on or something like that by the time we get to Wednesday. I'll do updated rankings tomorrow for the premium members, bringing in all the RCB stats. Later on tomorrow night, we may do another pod, kind of rehashing the week, recapping everything, some updates, stuff like that. Tuesday will be our normal deep dive podcast. Wednesday will be my final thoughts podcast. I will also do the E9 with Kenny Kim Wednesday evening, like all majors and big tournaments. Don't forget, U.S. Open, get you 30% off, free trial, 7-day free trial. Be giving away a bunch of money this week, bunch of PGA Championship gear that I got at Southern Hills, Masters gear I still got. We'll do some giveaways on Wednesday. To get into those, rate and review us on iTunes, subscribe on YouTube, like this video, and in the comment section, tell me your favorite play in the 9K range. That'll get you in each video this week. Every time you comment, we'll continue to get you into those drawings. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a blessed Sunday. I will be back. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Good luck for the rest of your sweats today. Let's have some fun. Thanks.